Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm Mr. Brown. I'll be your teacher. Today, by request, we are going to make a map of Central America. And so I'm using this nice blank one so we're not distracted by colors and whatnot. So we're going to just quickly go through these, then we're going to add the different things that you're supposed to put on your map as well. Okay, so let's get started. Here you go. Oh, and I can't do any voices because McKenna Lee said, please don't do voices. I respect that. All right, so here we go. We're going to start up here at the top, and that's the first country. So we know United States is right here, Florida, etc. And this is the border of Mexico and the United States. So Mexico is right here, and Mexico City is the capital. One of the biggest capitals in the world, definitely one of the biggest capitals in the in the Western Hemisphere. So we're putting that on there, and Mexico City is kind of right in the middle there towards the tail. Then we have Guatemala, and Guatemala is Guatemala City. So quite a few of these are going to be city, or not really quite a few, just one or two more, are going to be city. And we will also take note of where the capitals are. So you can see Guatemala City is this red dot here, kind of close to the ocean, but not on the ocean. Then this little tiny guy right here, that is Belize. Belize's capital is, I don't know how to say it correctly, but Balmoral. I'm probably trying to make it more interesting than it is, but I just never say that word for some reason. Moving down at the bottom, we have El Salvador right here, and their capital is San Salvador. So El meaning the, and Salvador, Savior, the Savior. And so that is the capital. You can see it is very close to the ocean. We do this next bigger piece, which is up here, and that is Honduras or Honduras. And the capital, I might say wrong also, but it's Tegucigalpa. And you can see that capital is right down here, where this square is right there. Okay. Then we are moving on, and we have the next country down, which is the first one that doesn't have a sibling country next to it. I kind of think of Guatemala is here and it has a little sibling Belize. Honduras is here, it has a little sibling El Salvador. And then we have Nicaragua. Nicaragua's capital is Managua. So Managua, you could see, is kind of again towards the coast. And it also has one of the largest lake in Central America, at least, which is Lake Nicaragua. So Lake Nicaragua, same. That's on your questions as well. Moving further down, we have Costa Rica, and the capital is San Jose. And so that's right there. Beautiful country. San Jose, definitely in the middle, not on the coast. And then the last country going down is this little connector here, which is Panama. And the capital is Panama City. If we go a little further down on your map, it's not actually part of Central America, but it gives us context as we discuss. And this is Colombia, and the capital is Bogota, which is right there, again in the middle. Then we have another country, Venezuela, which is also on your map at the very bottom right, and the capital is Caracas. Okay, so I think your map kind of cuts off like this. But this is not technically, this is South America. I put it on here though because I like the context to know it's connected. Okay. If we go back up, we are now going to do some islands. So we remember this is Florida. Really close to Florida are the Bahamas. And that's this chunk of islands right here. We're not going to name all of them, but the capital is Nassau. And you'll see a lot of little tiny crumbs almost on your map. That's what those are, the Bahamas. Okay, as we go down, then we find Cuba. And Cuba has the capital of Havana right there. And so that's right there. As we go down a little more, you'll see like kind of a little sibling again, and right here, and that's Jamaica. And Jamaica's capital is Kingston. Then as you move to the right, it kind of gets cut off. So this is at the end of your paper. We have two countries which share one island. So this side is Haiti, and this side is the Dominican Republic. Okay, if it's scribbled over there, then you want to go back one. Off the side of the paper is Puerto Rico, which is part of the United States. Someday it will be a state, but right now it is not. But it is still part of the United States. If you're born there, you are still a citizen of the United States. Okay? So those are your main countries with capitals. We want to make sure in the requirements, it says you have the Pacific Ocean, which is on this side. You have the Atlantic Ocean, which is on the east side. We have the Gulf of Mexico right here, which is in this little turn here. We have the Gulf of California right here, Gulf of California. We have Baja California, which is the land, or the Baja Peninsula. We have the Yucatan Peninsula, which sticks up right here. And so we've talked in class, this part is Yucatan Peninsula. It is Yucatan, U-C, or Y-U-C-A-T-A-N, Yucatan, and Peninsula. Okay. Other things that are supposed to be on your map. Let's see, we'll finish the water. So we have the Caribbean Sea, which is this space here that goes between here, all that water. This water is the Atlantic. This water is the Gulf of Mexico. It's the same water, they're connected, but we name them different parts because they're different areas. So geographically, they're different sections. If you were looking down on this map, Galapagos Islands are down here. We'll do that when we do South America, which are part of Ecuador. On this side, we have more islands, but these are off your map. So we're not going to discuss those for our map purposes. And that should cover those basic things. Let me go ahead and erase all this and start fresh. So if we're looking at geographical features, we have the Sierra Madres Mountains, which come like this, down. And they kind of end a little bit before Mexico City. So they kind of come down like this. These are the Sierra Madres. It's really hard to write with this pen on here. Madres. The Mother Mountains, Sierra. Okay. So those are those mountains right there. In the center piece, we have the Mexico Plateau. Mexico and Plateau. Plateau. Okay, Mexico Plateau is right there. If we go further down, So we already talked about this piece here is the Yucatan Peninsula. UCAT and then peninsula, PENISULA, peninsula. And this one is the Baja Peninsula. Pen is Eula. Okay, peninsula. All right, and again, that's this part right here. Okay, let's clear that off. You needed to put Lake Nicaragua on your map, which is right here. You can see that lake, and it's just spelled Lake Nicaragua. Nicaragua. Okay. As we go further down, let's see, what else were you supposed to put in here? Let's take a look real quick and look at the requirements. What are the name of the mountains? Or the two oceans, the Gulf of Mexico, the large coast, the largest lake in Mexico, the mountain range in Mexico, the highest peak in Central America is I'll have to think about that. Give me a minute. And then we have the river that forms the border. So that's the river right here. And we know that starts in Colorado. It's the Rio Grande. Rio Grande. As we go down further, what island did Christopher Columbus land on? That's now two countries. That would be right here. He called it Hispaniola. And then what is a large piece of water surrounded on three sides by water? Sorry, on three sides surrounded by water, three waters in the southeast, and that was the Yucatan. Okay, so we have these water pieces. Okay, then it asks you to put on where the Aztecs and Maya lived. And so let's get into that. And so the Maya lived on the Yucatan Peninsula. The Maya kind of lived in this area-ish, very-ish. And then kind of stalling because I'm trying to find out where Tahamulco is in the Sierra Madres Chiapas. So at the bottom of Mexico. Let's see. And I think I might have also asked you to put Tikal on here. I need to look. So here are the Maya. And then the Aztecs are really right here. Aztecs. Okay, so it's a pretty small area we're talking about. The Inca will be down here when we talk about South America, but not for right now. So these are just two that we talk about in class. It by no means means those were the only indigenous people that lived around here. There were indigenous people that lived here before Columbus got here, and they kind of lived on, they were water people or island people, and so they kind of had this area. There's other groups in each of these areas. There's different groups. We've talked about before, there were over 500 nations in the Western Hemisphere. So these, we're just talking about a few at one snapshot in time. So the Aztecs and this time period is really only about right that far. Okay, so before this, there's different groups here, not these guys. Before this, there's not these guys. If that makes sense. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is coloring. And so you are going to be coloring, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get my pen to change colors here because it's off the screen. That's unfortunate. So I can't change colors. But you're going to use the land usage map, which is on page 50 and 51. Do not use the political map, which is on 52 and 53 in your atlas. That will give you each country colored, one pink, one green. That's not what we want. We want to know what the land cover was like, not land usage, sorry, land cover. And so if you recall in class, we talked about this is kind of this deserty, high plains desert area and very low moisture, grasslands, kind of we would call that stunted growth. Then we have mountains over here and forests. We get down here and we have the same thing. Then we have jungle down here, jungle. And then really the jungle goes all the way down, but there are sections that are very dry. So I'm not going to be creating a great picture here for you, but you're going to need to look into your atlas for that information. Okay, that should cover most of it. Oh, we forgot the longitude and latitude. That was the last thing. And so we have, and this is going to be ish, you're going to need to look at your map, but we have a line of longitude that comes down like that ish. And this is about this is 110 degrees west. The 100 kind of goes right through Mexico and misses Mexico City. And this is 100 degrees west. Then if we move over to the Yucatan Peninsula, and it kind of cuts through almost San Salvador like that, goes through New Orleans, and that is 90 degrees west. Then I think there's one more. We're going to put 80 degrees, and that'll go off of kind of Miami is right here. So remember, you need two dots to create a straight line. So it kind of goes Miami for a dot, and then Panama City for a dot, about right there. And then we can draw this line, and this will give us 80 degrees west. And then your map doesn't go this far, I don't believe, but 70 degrees would go through the Dominican Republic. And so it's kind of about like that. And that's 70 degrees west. Okay. Then we want to do our latitudes and kind of the same thing. So latitudes, we're going to do 30 degrees north, and that also goes through New Orleans. So about right here. And because of the smallness of our map, it's hard to see the curvature of these things, but it goes about right there. And again, that's 30 degrees north. If we then have 20 degrees, and that will go kind of cutting off and going through Mexico City. And our other dot is really the tip of Haiti right here. So I'm kind of going like this. And that is going to be 20 degrees north, because remember, we're going down towards the equator. Then we have 10 degrees north, which is going to go right through Costa Rica, really right where San Jose is. is one dot. And then you could say a little bit south of Caracas, so about right there. And that would give you a line that goes about right there. And that's 10 degrees north. So we are really getting down to the equator. And then the equator, of course, goes through Ecuador. So that's the equator. The only other thing that's interesting and important would be the Tropic of Cancer, which goes through just north of Havana. So we always show that on a map with a dotted line. And so this is the Tropic of Cancer. And that just means that there's a special climate for this space right here. Okay. I think that's going to do it. So you should be good to go. If you have any questions or something I forgot, let me know. But that ought to do it for today. Make sure you turn that map in, and now you're all set. Alrighty, have a great day. Good. Bye.